currently 24 degrees, but it is going down to 21 this evening. My favorite blue jeans. I think I'm going to wear my new Garni ballet flats. This jacket is from Dunst. It is a Korean brand. I love it. And I've also got my little Jamaica oversized slouchy bag on, which is also a Korean brand. Really loving the little ballet flats with the blue denim and the white and the black. I feel like it's a very cute outfit. I'm so hot in this jacket right now. I didn't even tell you guys what I was getting ready for, but I'm pretty much just going to head out now and grab some wine and some ice cream with my best friend, because we're actually celebrating that her and her husband bought their first home yesterday. They were looking for a really long time, so we're going to celebrate this huge milestone and yeah, just have some girl time. Delicious. These shoes have caused the worst blisters. My feet are so sore right now. Gonna zoom you in. Hello guys, happy Sunday. Hope you're all having a very lovely day. So I had a chemical peel 2 days ago with James Vivian. I've been seeing him now for about 2 months and I've already started to notice a significant improvement in my skin. I think it's gonna take a while to get my skin back to anywhere near as clear as it was when I was on the pill, because hormones, it's a challenge, it's a journey, but we're working through it together. But the fact that I can already see an improvement after 2 months is actually really exciting and obviously very motivating to continue on with this journey. I'm actually going to include some before and after photos for you guys just to sort of see where we're at and the progress that I have actually made so far. I think it is pretty remarkable how quickly I'm starting to see some results, but yes, I'm very aware that it's going to take a while. Anyways, I'm going to include some clips from the treatment that I got with James Vivian on Friday, as I hope that maybe it will be helpful for anyone that is interested in just considering these kind of treatments or going down this path with their skin. Every time I hear the term chemical peel, it honestly just reminds me of that episode of Sex and the City when Samantha gets a chemical peel and has to go to an event for like Carrie's book launch or something, and the whole thing's really dramatic and really scary. So it does make me think of that, but this was nothing like that. It was much less intimidating. I only had the treatment 2 days ago, but so far everything has been fine. My skin is quite dry, especially around my mouth, and it does feel like it's cracking a little bit. It's not too bad. James said that it might get bad. Maybe like by Monday or Tuesday it might become not great, but he said just roll with it, it's fine, and hopefully the results are totally worth it. I'm gonna take you guys along for this treatment now, so let's go.
Like that is just so clear versus, you know, like...
Oh, that is actually an insane difference. Literally going on my forehead.
Forehead looks great.
Yeah, it's now just working through the chin still. Okay, we're just gonna check out and see how my skin has been tracking.
So we're doing a great job getting the congestion under control, which has been reducing the breakouts, which has been reducing the scarring. But we're still just getting a little bit of congestion on that right cheek. We want to do a deep peel because we've had some issues with having any downtime. We've had to keep it pretty light. So if we use a peel that's really oil soluble, it's going to get into the pores and it's going to try to reduce the congestion from even occurring to begin with. So a few extractions through the cheek, and then we're going to hit you with a bit of a peel where you're going to have about 3 to 5 days worth of peeling. We're working with a few different AHAs, which are just going to help again with texture and exfoliating deeper into the skin. The mandelic acid is really good for preventing new congestion from coming through. How's that feeling so far?
Yeah, it feels completely fine.
Totally fine?
Yeah, totally fine.
Like out of 10?
It's like 0 right now. Just a little bit spicy now. I'm good.
Don't be afraid to cry.
No, I'm not gonna cry. So I'm actually going to Queensland tomorrow. This was a very spontaneous trip that I booked literally 3 days ago. And I'm only going for a few days, but pretty much I wanted to lie on a beach because I haven't done that all summer. And during the Christmas New Year period, I typically would take some time to relax or go down to the beach or just do summer things. But this year I just didn't get a chance to do that. I had so many different things that I was working on, especially for haiku, that I just didn't really get a chance. Obviously I did just get this peel, but I'm going to bring multiple hats on this trip, so it's not gonna be a problem. It's gonna be fine. And I'm gonna make sure that my face is literally never in the sun and I have SPF 50 on at all times. So it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna pack a bunch of things that I've been wearing recently and love, and maybe a few things that I haven't really had a chance to wear in Melbourne because it's just not the beach vibe. Hair up means business.
On a day-to-day basis, many people...
This is officially way too many tops for a few days away at the beach, but I don't care. I just don't care. That I go through little phases where I like to make jewelry. Typically make like beaded necklaces, but I don't know, I sort of just do whatever I'm feeling in the moment. I hadn't actually made anything for a while and I sort of just had a bit of a craving this afternoon to do this. It's just so therapeutic. While I was doing that, I thought I would answer some of your questions because there has been a lot of questions recently, which I totally understand. I've had a major life circumstance change and I totally get that you guys would like to understand a little bit more about what happened. As I've sort of already mentioned, I'm probably not going to talk that much more on the breakup and that kind of thing just because I want to respect Nick's privacy and also it is a pretty private thing in general. But I'm totally happy to talk about how I've been handling the breakup myself and what it's like living alone. So I thought I'd have a little chat to you guys while we make a necklace. First question, this is an easy one. What camera do you use for your videos? So I use the camera that I'm using right now, which is the Sony Handycam. I also use the Sony, what is it? I'm just gonna write this on the screen because I can't even remember the name of the cameras that I use. I sometimes still use the Canon PowerShot Mark II, but the fact that it doesn't film in 4K really annoys me, especially when all the rest of my footage is in 4K. And when I'm editing it all together, I sort of want it to all be in the same format. So I typically just stick with these two cameras at the moment. I do like the compact Sony camera, however, the stabilization on it is really bad. And especially if you're vlogging when you're out and that kind of thing, it's so shaky and it drives me crazy. The camera that I've probably been using the most recently is the Sony Handycam, which is what I'm filming on right now. I know it's random, but how do you keep your home feeling fresh and clean? Not random. I love this question. I think I clean quite a lot, which helps. I'm probably cleaning in some format almost every single day. I don't know why I'm cleaning so often. I probably don't need to clean that often, but I do just keep on top of it. And I think that does help. But there are definitely corners of this apartment that are not that clean and a little bit messy, and I just tend to not show them. So there's also that. How do you feel after your breakup? I'm currently going through something similar and it's so hard. I'm so sorry that you are going through a similar thing. Breakups are just hard at the best of times. It doesn't matter if you're amicable, it doesn't matter if it was both your decision, it's still going to be hard because it's such an adjustment, especially if you have been together for a while. I'm feeling pretty good now. It has been a few months, so I've had time to process it and just like work through it, which I think was the most important thing for me. At the beginning, I spent a lot of time with my family and friends and just really like lent on them for support, and I think that made the biggest difference. I also went straight into dealing with it. I didn't try and push it to the side, or I didn't try and think, oh, I just won't deal with this now, I'll think about it in a month or in a year. I really just like fully embraced everything that I was feeling in the time. And I think for me, that's the best way, and also the only way to get over something is just to really feel whatever you have to feel and not suppress any of your emotions and all the rest of it. How do you make new friends in your late 20s or early 30s? Oh no, I lost a bead. I have recently made a few new girlfriends, which has been so lovely. I've mostly met them through other friends, going out, and then I'll have one of my best friends with me, and then she'll introduce me to her friends and that kind of thing. And it has actually led to some like really beautiful friendships within these friendship circles that were already existing. I think the best way to make new friends is honestly just to keep putting yourself in situations where you can meet people and you can be connected to different groups. Would you ever live in Japan, and if so, where? I would absolutely love to live in Japan and be based out of Tokyo and kind of spend my time there just traveling around all the different areas of Japan, because I haven't actually been to that many areas. I've been to a few, but there's so much more that I want to explore, and I am actually going next month and going to be visiting a few new areas that I've never been to before, so I'm really excited for that. I really would love to spend a prolonged period of time there, but I don't think I would ever move permanently. I am just so settled in Australia. I have all my family and friends here, and my businesses are set up here and everything, and it just doesn't really make sense for me to move permanently overseas. But look, never say never, right? How is living alone treating you? So this is the first time in my life that I'm living alone, and to be honest, I'm actually really enjoying it. I did not expect to like it this much. I thought I'd feel lonely or maybe even like bored of my own company, but I actually just, I'm getting so much out of it. To be honest, I'm kind of at a point now that I can't even really imagine ever living with someone else ever again, but we'll see. What is your 2024 word of the year? I am so glad that someone has asked me this question, because I've been telling literally anyone that'll listen that this is my word of the year, and the word is abundance. Abundance in all facets of life. Pros and cons of the Chanel ballet flats. Love how specific some of these questions are. Chanel ballet flats. Pros, they are probably the most chic, stylish shoes that I now own. I'm obsessed with them. I wear them at least once a week. I have absolutely gotten my money's worth, and I've probably only owned them for 7 months. Cons, they're not probably my most comfortable shoe, to be honest. Like, they're fine, but they're not super comfortable. They have stretched a little bit on the sides. They look completely fine and my foot is in them, but just from looking at them, they have stretched and just lost their shape a little bit, which is kind of annoying given how expensive they are. What are your 3 style words? This is such a hard question because I really do think that my style changes all the time. It changes with my mood, my location. I find my style is so different depending on where I am in the world. Even from like Sydney to Melbourne, I dress differently. In Sydney, I wear less black, and in Melbourne, I wear a lot more. So it's really hard just to nail it down to 3 words, but I would probably say casual, comfortable, mood dependent. Is that a word? I don't know. That's what I would say. What is your exercise routine and how do you maintain your figure? So when it comes to just my size in general, I would say it's probably 80 to 90% genetics. My mum is also pretty petite and has always been really petite, and I've always sort of been this size as well. So I think it mainly is just genetics, but I do eat pretty healthy, especially when I'm at home and cooking for myself. And exercise-wise, I definitely like to move my body for at least 40 minutes a day, whether that's like a walk or I go to the gym. I'll do like the Stairmaster, the treadmill, maybe a little bit of an ab workout, a little bit of weights. What are your hobbies when you have a day off? Well, I would probably say I'm doing one of my hobbies right now. Making jewelry is definitely a hobby of mine and something that I've been doing my whole life. I can't even remember when I started. Otherwise, I really enjoy reading, watching films. Trying new wine bars is probably my favorite thing to do. I don't know if that counts as a hobby, but it really does feel like one given how often I do it. The other day I played tennis, and I kind of want to get into that a little bit more as well because that was really fun. Is traveling a hobby? I love to travel so much, but I don't know if that really counts as a hobby. How are you, and are you excited for the new year? Thank you so much for asking. I am very well. And yes, I am absolutely so excited for 2024. I cannot wait for all the exciting things that this year is going to bring, and just all the exciting places that I'm going to visit as well. I'm really prioritizing traveling this year, so I'm going to be ticking off a lot of places that are on my bucket list that I've been wanting to visit for so long, and I'm finally going to just see them all this year. Are you dating? These questions, guys. I'm loving this necklace so far. I'm trying to decide if I want to put a little gold smiley face on it or not, or if I want to just keep it with the beads. I don't know. What are your Tokyo recommendations? Firstly, I would say go and watch my Japan vlog because it has a lot of recommendations in that. Also, the 2 vlogs that I posted on my Instagram and TikTok over the last like week or two. When I was in Japan late last year with Hotel Indigo, I shared heaps of recommendations during those vlogs as well. But when it comes to restaurants and cafes and that kind of thing in Japan, I would actually just recommend visiting different little areas, especially in Tokyo, walking around and just finding places that you think look cute and maybe checking the Google reviews just to make sure that it's, you know, above a 4 or something like that, whatever your standard is. See that the locals enjoy it and give it a go, because I found that a lot of the restaurants and bars that I just sort of stumbled across while I was going about my day were actually my favorite ones, whereas the ones that were like recommended to me or were TikTok famous were also very good, but often you have to wait for like 2 hours for places like that because they are so highly publicized. And they're definitely no better or worse than the ones that you just find yourself. One of my favorite things about Japan is definitely the food. And I can't even remember a bad meal that I've ever had there. Everything is just so good, so fresh, so delicious. And you will just not be disappointed with wherever you go. I think I'm gonna add the little smiley face charm. Just feels right, you know? Anyways, I'm going to leave this Q&A here and keep making my necklace. I recently started rewatching Entourage and I had completely forgotten how hot Vinny Chase was. So I'm going to get back to watching that, make some dinner and just chill out.